This match tactic is overpowered, and you're about to see the version of it where nothing goes wrong. This match is what I call the perfect match. As you can see, I got lots of blocks and went over to collect emeralds. Afterwards, I spotted an empty base to go to. I made my way to that base and restocked on valuable loot like blocks, armor, and most importantly, a pearl. Guys, the telepearl is your best friend for this, and always make sure you have at least one on you at all times. I then made my way to the diamond gen, and this part is important because I can now get an armory for a diamond sword, the game-winning weapon. And here comes my first enemy battle of the match. I noticed him coming, and I quickly bought iron armor. I was so prepared that I didn't even have to try to PvP. I mean, all it took was 3 hits and I killed him. And now, basically, the rest of the match is me putting pressure on players and killing them. He built up to escape me, but I was already one step ahead and just pearled to him, and he ended up dying. Another player attempted to kill me, but unfortunately for him, I was already much more prepared. The rest was just complete match domination. Kill after kill after kill. The last guy, I didn't even have to kill him. So in the end, I won. But wait, let's be honest here. Not every match will be perfect like this. What if I get attacked before I even get a good sword or armor? Well, allow me to show you. I was at the middle, but I noticed an enemy behind me. A player secretly lurking, thinking I haven't noticed him yet. But the truth is, I'm defenseless and vulnerable. And to make matters worse, I'm carrying valuables. This is where the most important part of the tactic comes into play. The power of many blocks and your ability to build fast just like this. Whoa. Pause it really quick. I know what you might be thinking. Crystals, that's clearly an auto clicker. Well, allow me to explain. I use a method of clicking that you may or may not know about. It's called butterfly clicking. It's basically when you use 2 fingers to alternate clicking, just like a butterfly flapping its wings. You might not know this, but the mouse you use also plays a big role in this process. Right now, I'm using the glorious Model O, the same one our beloved tanker uses. It has the ability to register 2 clicks at once. There are countless tutorials which teach this that you'll probably watch after this video. Alright, looks like I escaped that little situation, but look who we found. The same guy who was after me earlier. I ran up and built over him. He hit me, which boosted me up to the pyramid, and I did some building to hopefully slow him down. I reached his spot and decided to pull an unexpected move. I built fast and telebridged right over him. He must be aggravated. My next move was Big Brain. I lured him into the pyramid and blocked off the entrance before he could get in. That should buy me some valuable time. I was crossing the bridge and met him again. This time he hit me and I almost went flying to the void. Then a big elder tree appeared. He shot me, so I took cover behind wool. I spotted that dude who chased me most of the match, so I pearled to him, confident that this time I'm more prepared. He got lucky and pearled the moment I reached him. And look, he's back with a crossbow. I would say he was better off getting a diamond sword, because I pulled an Uno reverse card and hit him into the void. Unfortunately, he had balloons and he went back to safety. Or he thought, because while he was shooting at me, I built fast towards him, making it harder for him to hit me with his crossbow. I then hit him into the void once again, but this time, nothing saved him. He was gone for good. That other tree was attempting to shoot me once again, but he wasn't the only one with a grudge against me. This guy was also shooting at me, but I made sure he regretted his decision. All it took was one shot to end it all for him, and out he goes. This giant elder tree was charging at me, so I made the smart choice and took extra bow shots before challenging him to a sword fight. I took high ground and dropped on him. The ultimate reason as to why I was able to beat him was because of those early bow shots I took. But if I get rushed early, could the tactic still work? I was getting rushed by this guy and I didn't have that many blocks to escape away. I built for a high ground and then I dropped down to UZ dash onto him, and he was dealing so much damage to me. I was literally one hit away from death. This person had a lasso, which posed a big threat to me since he was on a bridge and I could risk falling into the void with all these blocks. He started running to my base, so I made a run for it. There's a decent chance for survival, but I will have to give up my bed. Here I managed to survive this dude and took my chance to get more blocks and abandoned my bed. I fled past him and headed towards his empty base for a chance to get better loot. And there goes my bed. He made his way to me and we ran to each other head on. I collected emeralds and made it back to my base and bought a pearl and balloons. And then the enemy with a lasso had an iron sword, so I barely stood a chance. I ran off the platform and threw a pearl, hoping it wouldn't fail. After running head on with this guy, we had a little build off and I jumped over and ran. I took a bad attempt at comboing him and it almost led to me dying once again. I built towards the middle, hoping the dude wouldn't keep chasing me, but he was. Now there's a special secret about this guy that will be revealed to you soon. Now back to this match. Luckily for me, the pearl succeeded and I broke the guy's bed. I bought another pearl and headed on my way. I found the perfect opportunity to break this green bed. I also had an axe which made the process 10 times easier. I ran in, broke the bed and started getting chased. I built behind me to slow the guy down, but now I'm faced with a guy on a dinosaur in front of me. Now I'm stuck in between 2 angry players that want to eliminate me. How will I get out? Back to this match. I managed to escape that red dude with a special secret. I got good armor and a good sword and he ran into a base. I took that as a perfect opportunity to pearl to him. I fought him, but he seemed to be good at PvP because he got me so low even though he had a wooden sword and I have leather armor. I broke his bed successfully and jumped on him. As I jumped on him, he managed to get a hit on me. In the air. He keeps on dealing crazy damage. I'm down to 28 HP. Will I survive? Meanwhile, back here, I took the opportunity to run and events unfolded the way how I wanted them to. I went back to a base and got iron armor, but the green guy looked like he wants to challenge me. I have a trick up my sleeve and I want to bait him to drop down on me so that I can quickly buy diamond armor. But will he fall for it? Luckily, back to this mess with the red dude, I had escaped him. The only way he could be dealing so much damage to me is if he had sharpness or something. Anyways, I escaped him and that's all that matters. I wanted to cash in my loot, but this other player started running to me. So I did the best I could and just built blocks behind myself so that I can slow him down, which gives me enough time to buy a pearl. I ran to him and built fast over him. All this fast building reminds me of how fast I want to speedrun to 50k subscribers. So if you think I deserve it, then please subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Anyways, I'm faced with a dead end. This wall is way thicker than it looks, but I still went for it. I placed blocks to the side and escaped. Just when it looked like I was safe, I made a bad mistake and jumped without paying attention. Back to the time that I had to bait him. He didn't fall for it, but when I tried to build up to him, he pounced on me. I had started fighting him. He headed to the bridge, but he messed up on his building and into the void he goes. One guy down, two more to go. But then the weirdest thing happened. I used my Uzi dash and got anti-cheated. I tried dashing again over and over and over, but it didn't seem to work anymore. Anyways, I made my way to the middle and found the dinosaur guy. He managed to escape me. He pearled to his base for better loot and pearled back this time. But not only does he have good loot, he has a special trick up his sleeve. He charged and he launched me into the air. And now I'm at 66 HP and he's after me. He pearled to me and he kept on hitting me till I was down to 12 HP. Now back here, I just barely landed that block clutch, but that dude who was stuck behind that wall is now angrier and out for revenge. He was right on my tail and I ran, doing my best not to die. But another player appeared. It was perfect. He distracted the guy after me long enough for me to get armor and a good sword. He for some reason decided to run back here. It was the worst decision this guy could have made. He stood no chance and I easily killed him. And now it's this guy's turn. The guy that had multiple chances of almost killing me. And finally, after a little chase, I killed him. But now, you're about to find out that special secret about him. Now, back to the fight with the dinosaur man. After bringing me down to 12 HP, I ballooned. But I knew I can't just let him have the middle to himself. He managed to flee, but I knew I could surprise attack him if I pearl. I went for it, but unfortunately, it failed. I collected some emeralds and the dinosaur man came back. He tried doing that trick on me again, but I didn't fall for it. And he ended up losing his dinosaur. We had a little cat and mouse chase just like Tom and Jerry. I was the cat and he was the mouse. He pearled away, but I wasn't planning on letting him run. He went out of the little mouse house he built for himself in an attempt to do that cheap little trick. It failed and his dinosaur was speedrunning all over the place. He fell in the void, but he ballooned. I took this as the perfect opportunity to shoot him with my bow. He threw a pearl, but it failed. I then hit him with my bow, but luckily for him, he bought another pearl and he made his way to the middle, and so did I. And now for that special secret about that red guy, I checked the chat and realized that he was a fan. And that makes so much sense because only my fans are the ones that learn not to give up and learn how to be good players. And most importantly, they learn to be respectful even after they lose. All he was asking for was that I said GG back. So I did, man. GG. It was great having you in my match. And I look forward to finding more of you guys. So I went along with the match and I found a full diamond armor player. And it looks like his generator is also a tier 3. I went in for the attack. I made a big mistake. I noticed my health going down rapidly. Don't tell me he has what I think he has. I jumped off to escape and uh-oh, he had fire. And my health is so low. If he hits me one more time, it's all over. He keeps shooting at me. That arrow was so close. How will I survive this? Meanwhile, we are back with the dinosaur man and we both have no bed. It's now or never. I did a smart thing with my mouse placement and placed it up so that every time he builds up, I can hit him. I rapidly built up to him and got him low even more. I think he's now one more hit away. I launched him into the air. Looks like it may be over for him. Is there any way he could survive now? Back to this spot. I am at 10 HP and the guy was trying to shoot me. One more hit and I'm dead. I threw a pearl and it failed. I looked behind and I think he was stocking up on arrows. He came back to attempt to shoot me, but this time I threw a pearl and I was saved. But look, he's chasing me again. I ran to the middle to collect emeralds. I looked to my bottom right corner and I found out that the last bed has been broken. You know what that means, right? Action. I looked in the distance and found them fighting each other. That must mean one of them will be low. I must take that opportunity. It's now or never. I pearled to them. I threw 2 pearls on accident because I was nervous. This little mistake is what made a big difference. This dinosaur guy who I launched in the air finally ended up dying, causing me to win. But now, back to this other guy. Since I threw 2 pearls, he didn't know where I would end up. I managed to go behind him and I used my only opportunity and I comboed him. And it was successful and we finally won.